Welcome back. Chapter 2, Section E, Primary and Secondary Research Methods, Advantages and Disadvantages. In this final section, we will explore the various sampling methods in market research, emphasizing their advantages and disadvantages. Understanding these aspects is very important, especially for A-level exams, where you might encounter 20-mark questions. These questions often require a balanced analysis of each method's benefits and limitations in different business contexts. When answering 20-mark questions, remember to provide a balanced view by discussing both the advantages and disadvantages of each sampling method. Tailor your analysis to specific needs and context of the business scenario presented in the questions, and this approach will demonstrate through understanding of market research methods and their practical implications. Advantages of primary market research. Primary market research is highly beneficial for business looking to gain tailored and specific insights. The key advantage for primary research is tailored informations or customer feed, detailed insights, and current and relevant data. So start with tailored informations. The information collected is tailored to a specific requirement. In primary research, the information is collected is tailored to specific requirements of the business and will not accessible to competitors. So it's very specified and it is not accessible to competitors. This is the first advantage of primary research. Second advantage, detailed insights. The business can obtain detailed insights from respondents, such as the reasons behind certain behaviors. And finally, in the third place, current and relevant data. Primary research provides more current information and also allows for asking targeted questions, make it more relevant by targeting questions. So, challenges of primary market research. In this part, we want to speak about the elements that are known as a disadvantage or limitation, or the factors that we are not happy with that. Challenge of primary market research. The primary market research have three important challenges. First, sample size limitations. Second, risk of bias. And finally, we have cost and time. So let's start with first one, sample size limitations. So the sample size might be insufficient and not representative of the entire customer base, potentially resulting in unreliable outcomes. So the first disadvantage is that the sample size might be insufficient and not representative. The second disadvantage is bias can occur and causing researchers to inadvertently lead respondents toward specific answers. Additionally, respondents fail to provide accurate information. For example, during primary research, there is a risk of introducing bias, particularly through the poorly designed questions that may inadvertently lead respondents toward certain answers, what we know in the past sections as a lead questions. And also there is a respondent accuracy, where respondents may not always provide trustful or accurate information, either due to misunderstanding questions, providing socially desirable respondent, or other factors. And this can further distort the result and impact the quality of their insights gathered. And finally is cost and time. A business may need to engage a specialized market research agency, and when we engage market research agency, which can make process both costly and time consuming. So, in summary, the limitations or disadvantage of primary market research is that it is insufficient. Perhaps it could be insufficient and not representative of entire customer base and populations. Second, it lead to responded toward the specific answers, and the results will not be reliable. And finally, it is costly and time consuming, or in fact it is expensive in terms of cost and time. After understanding the list of advantages and disadvantages of primary research and explain 3 advantages and 3 disadvantages for primary market research, this is a time to mention and discuss with together the advantage and disadvantages of secondary market research. What are the main advantage and disadvantage of secondary market research? Start with the advantages of secondary market research, or benefits of secondary market research, or what we are happy with that about the secondary research. There are 3 important advantages about secondary market research: time efficiency, cost effectiveness, and suitably for small business. In fact, in very brief language, secondary research is cheap in terms of cost and time. The information is readily available and make it quicker to gather primary research, which saves time. So we have saves time because the information is readily available, and also it's quicker to gather informations. Second, cost effectiveness. Much of the information is often free. You can access to the information in free mode and resulting lower collection cost compared to the primary research. And finally, suitably for small businesses. This approach is ideal for small business that may not have a substantial marketing budgets or necessary expertise. So this is in fact budget friendly. Secondary research is particularly beneficial for small businesses or startups that may have limited marketing budgets, and by utilizing existing data, this business can obtain valuable insights without financial strain of conducting primary research. So in the exam, please pay special attention to the size of business. Is your business a small or big size? If the size of business in the case is small, it is better to use the secondary as a market research method. Next part is a limitation or disadvantage, or the elements that make us unhappy about the secondary research. There are 3 important disadvantages. First, relevance and accuracy issues. Second, cost of specialized data. And finally, out-of-date informations. Let's start with the relevancy of issues. The information may have been gathered for different purposes, which can result in the lack of relevance or factual inaccuracies, as seen with the source like Wikipedia. So, potential relevance is mentioned that secondary data may have been collected for purposes other than specific needs of the current research, and this can lead to information that is not directly relevant or applicable to the new context. And also, factual inaccuracies is some secondary sources like Wikipedia can prone to inaccurate. And since the data is not collected specifically for the business's current needs, it may contain errors or outdated information that could mislead decision making. Next disadvantage is cost of specialized data. Acquiring market specific secondary data from a specialized company can be costly. And finally is outdated information. The information may also be outdated, particularly in fast changing markets. So there are some timeliness concerns about the secondary data that can become outdated quickly, especially in rapidly changing markets. So please, in the exam, pay special attention to the markets that the business are operating in. That is, the market is changed with high speed, or the change take place in low speed rates in the markets that the business is operated. Thank you so much for your special and precious attentions. We will continue in chapter 3 from the next video. Thank you so much.